messenger of peace. And Malala, your story went around the world in 2015 when the Taliban attacked you because you had blogged from age 11 about your education, and you became a target precisely because you were a young woman who was educated. Now that you see the Taliban back in control of Afghanistan, how do you think the region can bring pressure to bear to defend the right of women and girls to education?
Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today, and thank you so much to Amina Muhammad and all the panelists for coming together. I would want to reinforce that women and girls in that region, in Afghanistan and in South Asia, are not unfamiliar with what is happening in Afghanistan right now. This has happened 20 years ago in Afghanistan. This has happened several times in the tribal and the northwest region of Pakistan as well. This was the situation in 2007 in Swat Valley when the Pakistani Taliban announced ban on girls' education. They stopped women from going to markets. They targeted women. So, the atrocities are countless when it comes to the terrorism and the extremism that the Taliban have spread in that region. And my worry is that this will continue in Afghanistan. My worry is that the same situation would repeat all over again, what has happened over the past, before 20 years and even during that time in different districts, in different places. What needs to be done is that the international community must take this matter seriously. We cannot make compromises on the protection of women's rights and on the protection of human dignity. This is a commitment that the UN has made, that they are there to work for the protection of human dignity of a human person. So now is the time that we stick to that commitment and ensure that the rights and of Afghan women are protected. And one of those important rights is the right to education. We know that education is a human right of all children. We also know that it improves our societies, it brings more peace and harmony. We also know that it has economic advantages. It uplifts the society from poverty. It helps us tackle issues like climate change and the increases in conflict, and it helps us improve economy. So, we are all in much better position when girls are educated, when women are empowered. And we also know that the Afghan women and girls do not want to live in a society where their human rights are denied to them, where Afghan girls cannot go to school. So the voices are loud and clear.
Malala, as someone who was attacked by the Taliban because you were a woman who was being educated, what is your message to all those girls in Afghanistan now who are so worried for their own future?
I was targeted for speaking out for girls' education. And it proved to me that the Taliban were scared of the voice of women and girls. They did not want to hear women and girls speak out for equality, and they did not want to see women being educated. And I knew that my right to education was not only granted to me by the constitution of my country, by the human rights conventions and legislations out there, but also by Islam. And when women are educated and when they know that their rights are protected within their religion, within their community, within their country, they are empowered. They cannot be told to sit in the house and not go to school and not do a job. So the education of women and girls is a threat to the ideology of extremism that the Taliban spread. And so I think, I want to say to Afghanistan, women and girls, that they must stand up for their rights, and they are, because so many of them have been in jobs, so many of them have been educated, they know their rights, and they cannot imagine living in a world where they would not have access to those opportunities anymore.
Malala, thank you so much for that.